Welcome everyone to a comparison video between two Tamashii Nations Bandai SH Figuarts. It's the Iron Man Mark 85 and the Iron Man Mark 85 Final Battle Edition. So the one on the left is the original version, which was released last June. And this is their latest version, which was only released a few days ago. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the armors side by side, as well as to see if any of the accessories work and whether it's worth upgrading to the latest version. So let's first talk about the boxes, because this is quite important to me. Now, the original version is actually pretty nice. It is in a really clean look, very simple, and this actually resembles the quantum suit that they use in the film. Whereas the new box, you can see that there's so much detail going on. It's like the old versions of their packaging, where you can see the character at the front. But other than that, same details on the side. And the reason why it's a lot bigger is because, of course, we get a lot more accessories. So here are the two Mark 85 side by side, and at first glance you can definitely tell there is a difference. So the original version has a more colourful look and more cleaner armour, whereas the Final Battle version has this smudge and darker tone look to it. So you can see from the helmet all the way to the bottom of the legs, there is this dirt type of effect they added on. So it really depends what kind of look you like for the Iron Man Mark 85. I know this is meant to be the Final Battle version, but it's not fully damaged, which some people would have liked. But I'm guessing that they're going to be releasing another Mark 85 with the gauntlet that has the dirt. But we'll talk about that a bit later on. But let's first focus on the comparisons of these two armors. Now, in terms of the size and height, I think they're very similar. Maybe at first glance, it seemed as though the Final Battle one was slightly taller on the legs. But when I put them side by side, they're actually very similar in proportions. So there's actually not much difference there. So I think they've used the exact same mold. So you can see you can place the blaster effects. So I think it's pretty similar. And if we bring it up close, you can see the two helmets. Now the original has a green tinted eyes, whereas this one, the Final Battle version, has a more white color. And of course the helmet is in a dirty look. As for the back, as the Final Battle version had a lightning refocuser, you can actually take it off and place in another piece. Whereas the original version, I know there are some third-party pieces to put on, but this one doesn't have a piece for you to remove. So both figures come with 4 sets of alternative hands, which I've switched out to already, and that is for the blaster effects. So the original version has the blue color, whereas the Final Battle version has the orange color. So after taking a look at the armors as well as the alternative hands and blaster effects, we of course now can take a look at the extra accessories the Final Battle version includes. So at the start of the video you saw the lightning refocuser, and now I'm going to place it back onto the figure. And this one also has these effects where you can put on, which I showed you in my full review. So after this video you can check that out. And of course it also includes the shield and the blade. And this is very simple. You just take out the right hand and place it in. So I'm now going to test it on the original Mark 85 and see if that works. Because there was a scene in the Avengers Endgame when Hulk was about to put on the gauntlet and Iron Man actually shows up with the shield, and it does. So technically you can pose the original Mark 85 with the shield. I'm going to try it with the blade as well. So that's pretty useful for some people. If you want the Final Battle version in a different pose, you can also use the shield and the blade on the original Mark 85. So I've placed the Tony Stark head sculpt back onto the Final Battle edition. Now this is one of the improvements of this figure, is that we get the Tony Stark head sculpt. And to me, it's pretty good. I'll say even from different angles, I'm very happy with this. It may even be better than the Iron Man 3 version, which to me was pretty good. But if we take a look at the hairstyle to the skin tone, I'll say it resembles Robert Downey Jr. a lot more than the previous SH Figuarts. And just in case you're wondering if it fits onto the original Mark 85, Now when you remove the head sculpt, you actually take it off with the neck. Whereas if I remove the original Mark 85, you only remove the helmet. So maybe with some customizing you can actually take off this part of the neck and place the original one. But to me, I don't want to really damage the figure, so I like to keep it the way it is. Here is a close-up and side-by-side comparison of their two latest Tony Stark head sculpts. The one on the left is the Iron Man 3 version, and the one on the right, of course, is the Endgame Final Battle Edition. Now, both are very good at head sculpts. I'm actually very happy with both of them. The one on the left, Iron Man 3 version, actually fitted onto the Mark 85 with a bit of customizing. And I think a lot of people did that as well, and it's actually not too bad. But when I actually put it side by side with this Endgame edition, I'm actually going to say the Endgame one wins. I think the detail of the hairstyle, the skin tone, just the overall look resembles Robert Downey Jr. a lot more. Now I know that both of these Tony Starks are from different stages. Iron Man 3 was a few years ago and Endgame was only last year. So there's bound to be some differences. But when you actually put them side by side, I'm actually very pleased with the Endgame version. So that was the side-by-side comparison between the two Iron Man Mark 85 from the Avengers Endgame SH Figuarts. Of course, both are great figures, they are good in their own way. But when I picked up last year's version of the Mark 85, I said I wanted 3 improvements. That was the battle damaged armor, the Tony Stark head sculpt, and the gauntlet. Unfortunately, we only got 2 of the 3. Probably the most important part was the gauntlet, which they didn't feature in this Final Battle edition. So we still don't have the Final Battle Iron Man definitive look. And I know that Tomashinations did put out a picture saying I am Iron Man with the Avengers Endgame logo. So I think they will be releasing that version next. But if you already have the original Mark 85, I must say it is a major improvement because you get all these accessories, you get the Tony Stark head sculpt, and you get a slightly damaged armor. It's probably not the fully damaged version that I want. But I guess there's really no point of having a fully damaged armor if you don't even have the gauntlet. The same goes for the head sculpt. There's no point of having a bloodied head sculpt if you don't give us the gauntlet. Now, is it really worth picking up the Endgame Final Battle Edition? I guess if you already have this version, as well as the Mark 50 from the Avengers Endgame, you'd probably say it's not really worth it because you only get the Tony Stark head sculpt as the major difference. Otherwise, it's pretty much very similar. So I am pleased that I picked up all 3 of the Avengers Endgame Iron Mans because they are different in their own ways. I know that the latest version, the Endgame Final Battle, is not the definitive look, so we're going to have to wait on the Iron Man Gauntlet version. If you haven't already, be sure to check out the links below for the full Avengers Endgame Final Battle reviews. Thanks for watching and hope to see you soon.